acromegaly. Acromegaly is growth hormone hypersecretion. It is usually as a result of a somatotrope adenoma. Rarely it can be caused by extrapituitary lesions that will be secreting growth hormone. Let us see the table. Excess of growth hormone secretion, pituitary tumor, extrapituitary tumor. Okay, so pituitary tumor will be densely or sparsely granulated growth. So pituitary causes are more common than non-pituitary causes, right? 98%. Okay, so excess okay, so that is उसमें भी mostly granulated growth hormone cell adenoma, of course. Then mixed growth hormone and prolactin cell adenoma is next most common, and mammosomatotrope cell adenoma is 10%. Mammosomatotrope is one cell secreting both pH and growth hormone, prolactin and growth hormone, and mixed GH cell and PRL cell is mammotropes hyperplasia and somatotropes hyperplasia. Other is plurihumoral GH cell carcinoma metastasis. So carcinoma mets are very rare. मेन 1 में हो सकता है GH cell adenoma, मैक्यून अल्ब्राइट में हो सकता है. Let me just mark these two separately. मेन 1 and मैक्यूट अल्ब्राइट में है. Ectopic sphenoid parapharyngeal sinus pituitary adenoma जान दो. Extrapituitary tumor are less than 1%. It can be pancreatic islet cell tumor or lymphoma. Then there is excess GH hormone, GHRH hormone secretion, growth hormone releasing hormone secretion. These are also less common, less than 1%. So central and peripheral. Central is hypothalamic hamartoma, okay, or choristoma or ganglioneuroma. Basically hypothalamus secretes GHRH, so hypothalamic hamartoma, choriostoma or ganglioneuroma. Peripheral में bronchial carcinoid, pancreatic islet cell tumor. Okay, pancreatic islet cell tumor, we read that it secretes GH also, or it can secrete GHRH. Bronchial carcinoid, pancreatic cell tumor, small cell lung cancer, adrenal adenoma, medullary thyroid carcinoma, pheochromocytoma. Have a look at the table once again. Okay, so coming back, in addition to the more common GH secreting adenoma, mixed mammosomatotrope tumors, acidophilic stem cell adenomas secrete both GH and prolactin. In patient with acidophilic stem cell adenoma, features of hyperprolactinemia, that is hypogonadism and galacturia, predominate over the clinically evident signs of acromegaly, right? Isn't it? In the ones with mixed thing, prolactin will be more dominant, they are saying. Okay, I'm not marking this again. Occasionally mixed plurihumoral tumors may also secrete ACTH, the glycoprotein alpha subunit, or TSH. So plurihumoral में वाले also secrete pluri बोल दिया ना, plurihumoral, तो ACTH भी secrete करते वो the glycoprotein alpha subunit, and TSH also in addition to GH. So I'm just writing it in the table. I'm marking, यहाँ से काट रही हूँ, यहाँ पे ऐड कर रही हूँ, कहाँ गया. So plurihumoral will secrete growth hormone plus ACTH plus TSH. Patient with partially empty cella may present with GH hypersecretion due to small GH secreting adenoma within the compressed. तो पिट्यूटरी अगर ट्यूमर है तो there will be empty cella, full or partial. ठीक है, GH secreting adenoma within the compressed rim of pituitary tissue. Some of these may reflect the spontaneous necrosis, where a previously larger CAH secreting tumor rarely arises from ectopic pituitary remains from the nasopharyngeal or midline sinus. Okay, you can just skip this whole thing. We'll just stick to the table. There are case reports of ectopic GH secretion of tumors of pancreatic, ovarian, lung and hematopoietic origin, which we have already mentioned. Rarely excess GHRH production can cause acromegaly because of chronic stimulation of somatotrope. These patients have classic features of acromegaly. So GHRH वालों को भी same ही features रहेंगे, with elevated GH level, pituitary enlargement of MRI and pathological features of pituitary hyperplasia. Most common cause of GH mediated AHRH is a chest or abdominal carcinoid tumor. So let me just highlight this. Most common cause of GHRH mediated acromegaly is bronchial carcinoid, you can say. chest or abdominal carcinoma. Although these tumors express positive GHRH immunoreactivity, clinical features of acromegaly are only evident in a minority of patients with carcinoid. Excessive GHRH may also be elaborated by hypothalamic tumors, choriostoma, neuron. So I guess in this I'm striking everything out. We just have to remember the table, causes of acromegaly, and that the most common cause of GHRH mediated acromegaly is chest or abdominal carcinoma. Of course, the pituitary causes of GH hypersecretion is more common. Now, presentation and diagnosis. First, let us just look at the picture. 22-year-old man with gigantism due to excessive growth hormone is shown to the left of his identical twin. Okay. There is increased height and prognathism. We can see enlarged hand, affected hand of the twin and the patient. You can see hand and feet. Okay. The clinical features began to diverge at age of 13 years when there is a peak of growth hormone secretion. This is important. Up till then, their growth must have been normal. So, going to presentation and diagnosis. Protean manifestations of GH and IGF-1 hypersecretions are indolent and often not clinically diagnosed for 10 years or more, right? After that, this surge of growth hormone secretion occurs. Acral body overgrowth results in, let us mark all this, frontal bossing, increase in hand and foot size, mandibular enlargement with prognathism. Prognathism means a protruded jaw. Widen space between the lower incisor teeth. Okay. In children and adolescents, initiation of GH hypersecretion before epiphyseal long bone closure is associated with development of pituitary gigantism. Right. So soft tissue swelling results in an increased heel pad thickness, increasing shoe or glove size, ring tightening. Increase in heel pad thickness, increasing shoe size, increasing glove size, ring tightening, characteristically cause facial features and a large fleshy nose. Other commonly encountered features with there is hyperhidrosis, deep and hollow sounding voice. Of course, in GH deficiency, it was a shrill voice, and so here it will be hoarse voice. Oily skin, arthropathy, kyphosis, carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome because soft tissue has increased and it might be compressing the median now. Arthropathy, kyphosis, oily skin. Okay, proximal muscle weakness and fatigue. Then there is acanthosis nigricans and skin tax. Generalized, there will be visceromegaly, also cardiomegaly, macroglossia, and thyroid gland enlargement. The most significant clinical impact of GH excess occurs with respect to the cardiovascular system. So there will be cardiomyopathies with arrhythmias, LV hypertrophy, decreased diastolic function, hypertension ultimately occurs in most patients if untreated. Okay, let's go again. Heart ka thing is very important. Cardiomyopathy, there will be arrhythmias because of that, LV hypertrophy, decreased diastolic function, hypertension ultimately occur in most patients if it is untreated. Upper airway obstruction with sleep apnea can occur in more than 60% of patients. It is associated with both soft tissue laryngeal airway obstruction as well as central sleep dysfunction. Okay, so these are all मतलब वो लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग वाले में आ गए. ऊपर अपन इसमें थे, व्हाट डू वी से, फिजिकल अपीयरेंस के फीचर्स थे. अभी इसमें लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग आ गया, हार्ट आ गया, लंग आ गया, अपर एयरवे ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव स्लीप एपनिया एंड कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम्स. ओके, yeah, so diabetes mellitus again next. Diabetes mellitus develops in 25% of patients with acromegaly. Most patients are intolerant of a glucose load as GH counteracts the action of insulin, right? So GH is opposite to insulin, rule of thumb. So that is why insulin induced hypoglycemia में GH increase होता है. ठीक है. सो अभी GH ज़्यादा है तो इंसुलिन कम है. ठीक है. Acromegaly is associated with increased risk of colonic polyps, yes, and mortality from colonic malignancies. Polyps can be diagnosed in 1/3 of patients. Overall mortality is increased about 3-fold due to cardiovascular and cerebrovascular disorder and respiratory disease. Unless GH levels are controlled, survival is reduced by an average of 10 years. Lab investigations. So let me just revise the clinical features. First, let us go to the external appearances. Mostly, when will it start appearing? After 10 years, when the peak secretion increases. So there will be frontal bossing, increase in hand foot size, mandibular enlargement, prognathism, widened space between lower incisor teeth. Okay, and if it occurs before in the childhood, before the epiphyseal fusion, so the height will increase further, giving rise to pituitary gigantism. Then there is soft tissue swellings, increasing heel pad, increasing shoe size, glove size, ring tightening, coarse facial features, large fluffy nose. Others are hyperhidrosis, deep and hollow sounding voice, oily skin, arthropathy, kyphosis. Deep and hollow sounding voice, oily skin, arthropathy, kyphosis, carpal tunnel syndrome, proximal muscle weakness, fatigue, acanthosis nigricans, skin tag, and visceromegaly. Then there is cardiovascular system, that is cardiomyopathy, LV hypertrophy, depressed diastolic function, and hypertension. Then there is respi, upper airway obstruction, and obstructive sleep apnea because of both soft tissue laryngeal pathway obstruction as well as central sleep dysfunction. Okay, then there is diabetes mellitus because GH is contracts the action of insulin there. And then there are colonic malignancies, colonic polyps. Okay, mortalities because of cardiovascular, cerebrovascular, and respiratory disease. Colonic polyps. Lab investigation and age-matched serum IGF-1 levels are elevated in acromegaly. Obviously, we will not do any stimulatory test because it is already high. Consequently, IGF-1 level provides a useful lab screening method when clinical features raise the possibility of acromegaly. So, it is a good screening method also. Going to the pulsatility of GH secretion, measurement of single random GH level is not useful and does not correlated with the disease activity. The disease of acromegaly is confirmed by failure of GH suppression. GH suppression to less than 0.4 microgram per liter within 1 to 2 hours of oral glucose load. Remember, for GH deficiency, it was insulin-induced hypoglycemia. We would give insulin, let the sugars come up to 40. When the patient started developing neurosymptoms, that time we measure the GH. If it is less than 7, then we call it as GH deficiency. Similarly, इसमें oral glucose दो and then 75 grams oral glucose देने के बाद there should be GH suppression normally, and the values should be less than 0.4. If they are not less than 0.4 within 1 to 2 hours, that means we are failing to suppress. New ultrasensitive GH assays, the normal nadir level are even lower, 0.05. About 20% of patients exhibit a paradoxical GH rise after glucose. Okay. PRL should be measured as it is elevated in 25% of patients with acromegaly. Thyroid function, gonadotropin, steroids may be attenuated because of the tumor mass effects, क्योंकि वो रिलीजिंग हार्मोन स्टॉक को कंप्रेस कर रहा रहेगा. इस जस्ट बिकॉज स्टॉक को कंप्रेस कर रहा है तुम्हारा हाइपरप्रोलैक्टिनेमिया रहेगा. Because most patients will undergo surgery with glucocorticoid coverage, test of ACTH reserve in asymptomatic patients are more efficiently deferred until after surgery. Right? सर्जरी तक तो स्टीरॉयड के लेवल बढ़ने वाले हैं, तो यू मे नॉट टेक स्टीरॉयड, तब तक तुम थायराइड और गोनाडोट्रोपिन चेक कर सकते हो. ओके, so there is suppression to failure of GH suppression after an glucose load of 75 mg. Failure of GH suppression to less than 0.4 within 1 to 2 hours of glucose load. About 20% have a paradoxical rise. ठीक है ना, उसमें भी फेल सप्रेस तो हो नहीं रहा है. ठीक है, या तो उतना ही रहे या तो उससे बढ़ जाए. प्रोलैक्टिन should be measured, प्रोलैक्टिन, थायराइड, गोनाडोट्रोपिन, सेक्स स्टेरॉइड्स आफ्टर अ सर्जरी. ठीक है. Now management of acromegaly. Let us come to the flow chart first. If it is a GH secreting adenoma, assess the likelihood of surgical cure. If it is likely, then go ahead with the surgery and measure the GH and IGF-1 elevation. If it is controlled, then you monitor the levels. Okay. If after surgery the GH and IGF-1 are elevated, you give him a somatostatin analog and measure the levels again. Increase the dose and frequency of somatostatin analog and GH receptor antagonist, or add a dopamine agonist also for the prolactin thing. Okay, if it is elevated, and again you measure GH and IGF-1 level and you monitor. keep monitoring. If it is uncontrolled, then you give a GH receptor antagonist. You might think of a radiation surgery and reoperation, because even after surgery and even after somatostatin analog, if they are elevated, and even after a GH receptor antagonist it is elevated, you might think either of a radiation therapy or reoperation. Coming back to the beginning of flow chart, if the likelihood of surgical cure is unlikely, then you give him surgery नहीं करना है तो somatostatin analog दे दो, GH1 GH and IGF लेवल चेक करो, सेम चीज़, कंट्रोल हुआ तो ठीक है, नहीं कंट्रोल हुआ तो उसका डोज या फ्रीक्वेंसी इंक्रीज करो सोमैटोस्टैटिन का, या फिर यू एड ऑन अ GH रिसेप्टर एंटागोनिस्ट एंड ऑफ कोर्स अ डोपामिन एगोनिस्ट एंड मॉनिटर. बट इफ़ इट इज़ अनलाइकली एंड अगर CNS का प्रेशर इफेक्ट भी है तो यू गो फॉर सर्जरी एज वेल एज द सोमैटोस्टैटिन एनालॉग. Okay, now let us go in detail treatment of acromegaly.